Guess what? If you feel like you're lacking anything in life, maybe it's an area of success, maybe it's the perfect relationship, maybe it's just longing for something that's yet to arrive in your life. I'm here to tell you that the way that you bring about and fulfill whatever that thing is you're longing for, it comes through the act of learning how to love yourself. It's loving yourself. When we feel lack, that means that we feel like something is missing, but it's something on the outside. And that's never the case. We want it to be the case because that would be so much easier. At least that's what we perceive. You perceive it to be easier to go and look around and say, I got to go find my love. I got to find, material possessions, because those things will somehow complete you, and none of it ever does. My name is Greg, and I started Results Kill Excuses coming out of my pity party, out of my self-destructive ways. And I finally hit a rock bottom, and I had to turn my life around. And throughout the past 13 years, which some would call a healing journey, some would call spiritual awakening, I think it's a little bit of both. I have found myself, and I continue to find deeper and deeper levels of myself. And I'm somebody that has really screwed up in life. I know that I've hurt others. I know that others have hurt me. And I know that throughout my experience of this thing called life, that those wounds, those painful times have caused me deep emotional pain that I couldn't always identify with, that I didn't always want to truly feel and experience and understand. And thus I turned to what? Things like alcohol, things like drugs, things like, shallow relationships, things like sports even, entertainment, a lot of addictive patterns and behaviors in order to check out from really getting to understand myself, feeling that I was never good enough, or that maybe there's something wrong with me, right? And even as a veteran, the disability diagnoses didn't make that any better, right? Having the stigmas of there is something wrong with you, right? You got PTSD. That stuff's painful, man. And yet we really do align ourselves with so many things that are outside of ourselves, thus leaving us powerless. And there's something about that place of being powerless that somehow gives us a sense of it puts a stigma on us where we have now permission to give up, to let ourselves go, or to just settle. Is that where you find yourself right now? Are you someone that's just settling in life, right? Because you just have beat yourself up mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically, that you've really lost your motivation to live, and to live a full life, to live a healthy life, to be successful, to take risks, to try new things. And one of the things that I wish so many people would give themselves permission to try is to heal, is to really heal. No magic tricks, but to really go through the process of healing yourself, which takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of strength, because you have to acknowledge all the good, all the bad, all the ugly things that have happened to you throughout your life. And most of the worst things, or at least the seeds that started some of your patterns of negativity, is in your childhood. And so it's going back in that time machine, leaving the judgment behind, and really activating your compassion to be able to see and face yourself, face the true self that has experienced some pretty tremendous, if even horrendous, experiences. things that leave us guilty and feeling ashamed. And it's such a vicious cycle, this world. Because hurting people hurt others, right? We've all heard that. And it's so true. And it's not until you heal, right? Healed people heal others. And that's what's happening with me right now. Is I'm on a mission to keep on healing even deeper and deeper levels of myself so that I can thus help other people heal. And you have the same potential, so you can stay in your hurt knowing that you're going to keep hurting others, which does hurt you, right? It hurts you. Anytime I've ever hurt somebody, and I've hurt a lot of people, right? I've hurt a lot of people. My ego can get really out of control, right? When my ego feels fear, feels rejection, feels a sense of abandonment, feels like it's not being loved in the way that it wants to be loved, it can get pretty abrasive, pretty mean, pretty nasty, lacking the compassion necessary to foster healthy, harmonious relationships, connections with other people. And so thus, the healing journey always brings us back to self-love, to truly embodying the fullness of love. And yet, we've been tricked in many ways, or at least programmed, to disassociate love as something you give yourself. We think love is something we give to someone else and that someone else gives to us, like it's this exchange, which in part it is. However, the love you give yourself first is the love you're giving somebody else. So if you don't love yourself and you're looking for love in somebody else, usually that's gonna leave you feeling empty. And definitely when you get two people that are empty inside, meaning they truly don't love themselves, because that's what fills you up. The true essence of the energy that will fill you up to feeling whole and complete is love. It starts there, it ends there. Loving yourself. Ask yourself this right now. I've been working this with my coaching clients. Name 10 things that you love about yourself. 5 that you like about your character. So maybe you can say, hey, you're a kind person, you're generous, you're thoughtful, you're strong. And then name 5 things that you love about yourself, your physical self. Do you love your body? Do you love your eyes? Do you love your heart? Do you love your face, your skin, your height? Right? And what you're going to probably experience is that coming up with just 10 things is really challenging. And if you feel challenged by that, then I'm going to ask you to take that one step farther. Get a piece of paper and try and write out 50 things, 100 things that you love about yourself, every single little detail. And here's the thing. Some of these things you may feel uncomfortable about, because the truth is that maybe you don't love yourself. Maybe you have some mixed feelings about yourself. Maybe you're carrying around a guilt and shame and hatred and anger towards yourself at a deep level. And if that is the case, give yourself some grace, give yourself permission to just be in a positive mindset, in a loving state of being, to try and write out these big lists. And as you do, once you get the list written out, then I want you to say these lists out loud and try and feel it in your heart. Feel this love. We've all felt what love feels like, especially with someone else, man. When we fall in love, we're so excited. Can you recreate that experience with yourself, by yourself, for yourself? That's the question. If you can do that, you are well on your way to truly breaking through and becoming the best version of yourself. And the beautiful thing is that once you start truly cultivating that self-love, you're going to become magnetic. You're going to attract other people that are full of self-love, that truly see you and hear you and accept you for who you are. You're not going to have to ever feel like you're walking on eggshells again, or that you have to maybe hold back your truth and edit yourself and wear a mask and pretend to be something you're not. And it's like, authenticity is actually probably the sexiest thing that someone could be. And yet so many of us will hold ourselves back from being more authentic because we fear being rejected, abandoned, not accepted by what? The social class of people that we feel are on our level. We want acceptance. It's in our DNA. However, part of this healing journey that I've been on for 13 years, and where I find myself even right here, right now, is in what's called the lonely chapter. And some of the greatest, most transformational chapters of my life have been in singularity, where I truly got to know myself, meet my true and authentic self. It's really hard to do that with a lot of other people around you, distracting you and pulling on your energy, because that's what happens, right? When you got lots of people around you, your energy is divided. They're pulling on your energy, you're giving your energy. And a lot of times, you've created these connections out of a false version of yourself. And some of this is painful because, based on your sexual activity, you've created families that are like a forced connection. And deep down inside of you, this is maybe something hard to hear, but deep down inside of you, you're feeling trapped. You're not even in that situation out of just unconditional love. You are making a sacrifice and you're frustrated and wishing it was different. And yet, that's a difficult place to be. And I commend you if you are a parent that is taking that responsibility to be the best version of yourself and to serve and to be there and to nurture and care for other humans. But just know that energetically, if that is your situation where you do find yourself frustrated, you do find yourself feeling overwhelmed and just down on yourself so much because you're giving so much of yourself to others and you're not really getting anything back. That's a big question to ask yourself, right? The next thing for you to do, if you've made it this far, right? First, we've written down a list of the things that we love about ourselves. The next thing that you can do is write out a list of connections and people in your life. Could be professional, could be romantic, could be family, could be friends, where you feel that you are not valued or appreciated. So you write out a list of all the people and places where you don't feel that you are being valued or appreciated. This is a tough assignment, but it's one worth doing. Then you want to write out a list of all the places and people that you feel valued and appreciated. And if in writing that list, in writing these two lists and then comparing them, if you feel that the list where you don't feel valued and appreciated is greater than the list that you do feel valued and appreciated, then there's an imbalance in the exchange that you have with others. You're giving more than you're receiving. And the way that you can fix this is by, you guessed it, loving yourself. And a lot of people ask, well, how do I love myself? Well, first you have to ask yourself, what do you love to do? Right? What do you love doing? What truly brings you joy? What makes you feel happy? This would be another assignment. This is the beauty of journaling and the power of writing things down and really becoming the master of your life, of every aspect of your life. You know, they're like you see it in sports. If you're sports head coaches, you know, they're writing out plays and X's and O's, and, you know, you see it in like the movie business, right? They write out the script, and it's like your life is no different. If you want to have winning plays, if you want to have a winning story in your life, guess what? Start to embrace the act of journaling. And if you're ever confused or wondering what journaling is, you should check out the link down below. The 1% Better Everyday Journal, Volume 1 is an incredible place to start. It really does make journaling fun and easy, and it starts to develop that daily practice of connecting with yourself, of reflecting and cultivating a relationship with yourself, which ultimately will lead you to having greater understanding, greater self-awareness, and ultimately self-mastery over your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and the goals and the things that you want to achieve right here and right now. And so another thing you can do is to love yourself is to literally tell yourself that you love yourself. Give yourself the high five, right? Mel Robbins talks about the high five. Like when you greet yourself in the morning in the mirror, like walk up to yourself. I love you. If you go to the gym, I do this all the time. There's all the time I try and fill my cup up. Positive thoughts. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm handsome. I'm telling myself this, right? You're handsome, you're sexy, you're attractive. And some of this stuff, it sounds kind of silly if you're not used to telling yourself positive things. Maybe some of you are so used to saying, I hate myself, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, you're gross, right? You're a failure, you're a loser. I mean, the negativity is so harsh. And some of us can be so stuck in our heads wishing things were so much different. And what I'm wanting to pull you into is the present and the now. Because in the now is when you can make these changes. And some of this stuff may feel really uncomfortable at first. I've been there. And it's not that you're lying to yourself. It's not even that you're deceiving yourself. There is a little trickery. But it's necessary for you to truly start to play the games with your mind, to start to shift from a negative mindset to a more positive, healthy, harmonious frame of mind. And it does take you setting intention. Like you're driving around, you start thinking some negative thoughts. You say, no, I'm smart, I'm abundant, I'm rich, I'm successful, I'm a winner, I'm healthy, I'm loved, I'm handsome, I'm beautiful. Whatever it is, like you literally continue. Catch yourself in the negative, stop it, and shift to the positive. Self-love is so important, and it really ties into self-care. And self-care is something that I didn't really even understand that, because let's be honest, when I was drinking and in my alcoholic days, I mean, that alone, where is there room for self-care if everything I was doing, even if it was outdoors, even if it felt fun and exciting and lots of, shooting the shit and giggles and laughing and yay, this is so fun, and playing in the water or fishing or hiking or going to games or traveling or playing on the beach, and it's like, if all of that involved drinking as a basis for that fun, this is my opinion. But when I look back, I'm like, that if the alcohol wasn't there with the emotional wounds that I was carrying around, I probably wouldn't have ever even done that stuff. The alcohol, the fact that I was an adult and that I knew alcohol was going to be a part of it because I made it a priority to be a part of all of those things, right? That's what made it appear to be having fun. And then if you fast forward to now, where it's like, I haven't had a drink in over 13 years. And yet I go do all those things. And it's like, I actually am genuinely having fun, which is back to like going all the way back into your past when you were a little kid. It's literally reparenting yourself and having fun the way you would as a child. That childlike just freedom to like have fun and be outside and go play and be active and spend time in the sun. And we get so caught up and serious as adults, and we think that poisoning ourselves, which is it's a really harsh way to describe consuming any measure of alcohol, but it is true. It is actually a carcinogenic to our body. Our bodies are not happy with alcohol. Our minds might get a little happy. We get the buzz going and all this other stuff, but it was a really hard pill for me to swallow, to really come to that conclusion and know that it's factual, because it's so counter culture to society. It's so hip and trendy for that. And then you add maybe some THC or all kinds of other recreational drugs and activities. And it's like, we think that we're having our best life. And it's like, sitting here now, a man that is on a pursuit of healing, desiring to help heal others, versus a hurting man wanting to hurt others. And I used to be the worst. When I was a party animal, motherfuckers hated my ass because I was hard. I'm like, come on, man, another drink, another rounds. And it's like forcing that negativity. Like, man, drink more, get fucked up. I'm going to get you fucked up tonight, man. And it's like, it was overwhelming. And yet, clearly I'm trying to find a balance to not be so abrasive even with the healing part. And so, but I am so passionate about this because I can't, it's incredible how much my life has changed. And yet there's still plenty to go. There's still more to go. I'm coming up on an incredible opportunity where I'm going to be submitting myself into a week-long healing course that's going to take me to another level of my healing journey, and thus healing people heal others. I'm going to be able to share, and you mark my words, come the first week of April, whenever you're seeing this, you're going to see a shift. I guarantee it. I've seen a shift. If you go back all the way back 3, 4, 5 years ago to who I used to show up as, my energy, how I would present my message and my heart, and the way I wanted to express myself into the world, I've seen an incredible transformation. I can hear it. I can feel it in watching myself. And I know that is the true evidence, the results, to know that this journey has been worth every sacrifice, every missed thing that in the past I would have perceived as, being left out or not being a part of the cool kids. But at the end of the day, I really do believe the greatest flex in 2025 is life on life's terms. And I haven't really said that in a while, but it is a part of my mantra. Life on life's terms is literally living a sober life, no escape routes. Sitting there in the painful, uncomfortable feelings, in the painful, uncomfortable emotions, and trying and getting to the root cause of what's really going on inside of me. To love myself unconditionally, to know that I'm not missing anything. There's no attachments here. Ain't nobody attached, ain't nothing attached to me. I've lost a lot. And I have myself to blame for everything I've lost, right? But I also know that many of the things that I've lost, right, there was also universal divine intervention to protect me, right, from my own self, because there's a lot of times that I've tried to hold on to things that were no longer serving me, that were actually holding me back, keeping me back, having me settle for a lesser version of who I could truly be, of who I should really be. And at the soul level, I want to fulfill my soul's purpose on this planet. And if you've made it this far, I truly believe that there's something inside of you that is also yearning and desiring to fulfill your purpose on this planet at a soul level, not just the human level, not just the success and the wealth and the fame, but to truly contribute to the healing and the transformation of our planet, of humanity, to truly help people to eliminate their suffering within, and to make that transcendence from the lower self to the higher self. And that's why I believe those of you that are connecting with this message, you're chosen. You're being called up to take that leap of faith, to start putting in the work, to start investing in your healing. And it should start now. If it hasn't started, the time is now. But only you can choose when, right? When will you be ready? When will enough be enough? When will you get sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, that you can truly just let go, right? And surrender. Most of us, we want self-control. We want to control the circumstances. And right now, the thing that I have learned most, and I resisted it for many, many years, was to surrender. To open my hands, open my heart, and just surrender, say, use me, right? Heal me. I surrender to whatever process I need to go through in order to genuinely heal myself, which is really healing my ancestral line, my generational line, right? And I wish I could say it was an easy process, but I can tell you that I have figured out how to demystify a lot of the process. So you ain't just wandering in the woods and doing things repetitively and not really getting anywhere, right? That's not what it's about here, right? We want true success. We want to truly see the growth and the results of any efforts that we're putting into this experience of healing and expansion to become the best version of ourselves. And yet, I'm living proof that it's possible. Anything you see in me, anything you hear in me, right, that uplifts you, that challenges you, that encourages you to keep going or to start trying, to put in the effort, it's inside of you. You can absolutely take back the power that you have given away in times of desperation, times of loneliness, times of hurt. You can take your power back and start to use that power to truly carry you into the most incredible chapters of your life. But it takes your willingness and your relentlessness to say, I'm all in. You got to go all in. Go all in on this journey. This isn't a thing where you can just show up for a week, for a month, right? Even just for a year. I can tell you though, if you show up for a week, if you show up for a month, if you show up for a year, every single day, being consistent, putting in work, investing in your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical healing, you will see the results. And thus, it becomes contagious. And thus, you get to a place where you shift, you hit a breakthrough where you're like, man, why was I so resistant to this? Why was I so stubborn about doing this? Why was I so afraid about doing this? As if somehow I was gonna lose something, when it's like, no, man, I got rid of the things that didn't even work for me, and now I'm getting the things that actually do. And they help me to feel better about myself, and I feel more fulfilled in life, and I feel more complete, and I feel more aligned with who I truly am meant to be on this planet. My true identity has come forth. That's such a beautiful thing, don't you think? I want to encourage you to just give it a try. And if you're looking for a place to start, Results Kill Excuses in your app store. You can get started on the self-discovery work. And if you're looking for even something more than that, reach out, Greg, Greg, at Results Kill Excuses, to explore what it would take to start working with me one-on-one. I got 3-month and 6-month programs. And I do have some availability right now, so don't think too long. You should jump on that opportunity. Some of us, we just need that accountability. And I'm here to be the greatest accountability partner on planet Earth to help you start building your dreams, breaking down all your negative beliefs, healing your emotional wounds so that you can truly step into becoming the best version of you, feeling more fulfilled in life. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in here. Comment down below. Let me know a little bit about you. Let me know how this message is inspiring you. Share the message. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.